Hello, everybody. Today we discuss lesson 16's future passive participle, as well as the Kamadharaya Samasa and also the abbreviations. So let's start with the future passive participle. The future passive participle is formed from the present stem, as well as the strengthened form of the root, with the suffixes tappa, itappa, aniya, aniya, ya or double ya, teya or taya. And it generally is not simply future, but rather imperative or optative. For example, this must be done, this should be done, this ought to be done, also this can be done, even capable of being done, able of being done, fit to be done. Normally it is passive, like the past passive participle, and the future passive participle is used in any constructions requiring a future participle. The construction is mostly the same as for the past participle. Inflection in all three genders are the same as that of the past participle in short R as well as long R stems. And the guna of the root is normally used in the future passive participle. With the presence, the future passive participle, can be negative with a or an. For example, ababba, incapable. Babba, capable. Ababba, incapable. It can be used, the future passive participle can or may be used as a sentence verb or finite verb, as well as an adjective, as well as even sometimes as noun. And usually the future passive participles in tappa are more often used as sentence verbs, and the future passive participles in aniya are more often used in adjectives. Now, as a way of showing you how they look like, we have quite a number of examples here. Kam, kamati, kamitabba, to be walked. Kar, karoti, katapa, to be done. Gam, gacchati, gantapa, to be gone, must be gone. Charati, charitapa, must be lived, to be practiced. Jivati, jivitapa, to be lived. Nya, janati, janitapa, to be known. Dadati, datapa, to be given, must be given, should be given. This pasati, dattapa, to be seen, must be seen, should be viewed, must be envisaged, should be considered in such and such a way. Pachati, pachitapa, pa pivati, patapa, to be drunk. Puchati, puchitapa, to be asked. Basati, basitapa, to be spoken, should be spoken. Vachati, vattapa, to be also to be spoken. Vit vedeti, veditapa, to be known, to be found out, to be discovered, and to be ascertained. Sunati, sotapa, to be heard. Sevati, sevitapa, to be indulged, to be pursued. Hanati, hantapa, to be killed. Now even causatives. Kareti, karitapa, must be caused to be made, should be caused to be made. Tapeti, tapetapa, to be established. Bhaveti, bhavetapa, to be developed. Kameti, kamaniya, to be loved or even lovely. Karaniya, what must be done, duty or business. Kamati, kamaniya, to be pleased, pleasure, contentment. Karati, karaniya, to be chewed or foods. This pasati, dasaniya, what must be seen, beautiful. Bochati, bochaniya, to be eaten, foods. Machati, madaniya, intoxicating. Ranjati, ranjaniya, exciting. Ramati, ramaniya, to be delighted in, delightful. Vachati, vachaniya, to be said, what ought to be said. and even with the suffix ya or ya, kar karoti kitcha, to be done, what should be done, business, da, deti, dea, to be given, gift, pa, pivati, pea, to be drunk, bu, bhavati, babba, capable, lab, labate, labba, to be obtained, possible. Now, an impersonal neuter or agreeing with patient, if expressed, passive with agent in instrumental, te wo bhavettabba, they, te, must be developed, bhavettabba, wo, by you, in the plural. Tupo, katabbo, a pagoda tupo should be built, katabbo. Imina pariyayena veditabbang, it should be ascertained, veditabbang, imina pariyayena, in this way. Katam patipachitabbang, how, katang, should one proceed, patipachitabbang. So the active use of the future passive participles of intransitive verbs, meaning go forth, move, etc., is rare, as they are much more frequently constructed passively. Sometimes the future passive participle is accompanied by the present or future of a verb meaning to be. Makko gantabo hoti. The road, makko, has, hoti, to be traveled, gantabo. Makko ko me gantabo bhavisati. The road, makko, will have, bhavisati, to be traveled, gantabo, me, by me. Or I shall have to travel along the road. Namhi kenachi upasankamittabbo. I am, amhi, not, na, to be approached, upasankamittabbo, by anyone, kenachi. The future passive participle is also used with manyati, think, to express what one thinks, thought, thinks in the present tense, thought with the aorist, or might think as the optative, of doing or suitable to be done. Upasankamittabang manyeya, he may think, manyeya, it is to be approached. Upasankamittabang, he might consider it worth approaching. And it can also be used as an as an adjective. For example, Ramaniyo Pappato, the mountain Pappato is delightful, Ramaniyo. Even as a noun, Pore Vachaniyam Pacha Avacha, you said Avacha, last, you said last, Pacha, what ought to be said, Vachaniyam, first, Pore. So far concerning the future passive participle. As regards the Kamadaraya Samasa, it is a subcategory of the Tappurisa Samasa. So it functions mainly as a noun, and whereas Tappurisa Samasa normally part A and B are in different cases, here part A and B are in the same case. And then part A is either the attribute of part B, or if it's like a noun or two nouns coming together, they can also be standing in opposition to each other. Now, for example, in English, when we have an adjective plus a noun, blackbird, an adjective plus adjective, spoken, well, not an adjective plus adjective, but adjective plus maybe here, in this case, like a participle, soft spoken, noun plus adjective, ice cold, noun plus noun, houseboat. So these would be examples of Kamadarayas in English. We have, for example, adjective plus noun, Maha Nadi, great river, Kalyana Mitta, good friend, Akala Mega, an untimely cloud, adammakara, unlawful acting, verbal adjective meaning a participle plus a noun, baddhamika, the trapped or bound deer, panyatasana or panyata asana, arranged seat, kanaha sappa, black snake, an adjective plus a adjective, all sappaseta, all white, an adverb plus a noun, samma vimutti, right liberation, and micchavacha, wrong speech, noun plus adjective, manoseta, mind as foremost, parnapiya, life deer, meaning dear as life, sankalikita, shell smooth, meaning smooth as shell, and noun plus noun, rajasi, meaning rajasi, king sage, Sariputta Thera, Sariputta the elder, Munipungava, a sage bull, bull-like sage, Mukkachanda, face moon, moon-like face, Akitaraka, eye star, star-like eyes, Siladana, morality wealth, wealth of morality, Panyasata, wisdom sword, sword of wisdom. So, and even negative, of course, Adamma, non-law. The word Adamma is in itself, and other similar negative formations are regarded as kamadaryas or perhaps looser, of a perhaps looser kind. Furthermore, rather rare group of kamadaryas expresses a comparison between the members, which are nouns in apposition. For example, chakaratana, wheel gem, might be interpreted as a simple apposition or as a comparison, a jewel shaped like a wheel. So much for the Kamadarya Samasas. And lastly, the abbreviation, so which is Pāli. We have, well, frequently in Pali text, the passage is repeated verbatim or with only one or two words changed. This is often indicated by giving only the opening words of the passage, followed by the word pe, sometimes even pa or la, meaning and so on, etc., itself an abbreviation of the word Pāli, etc. And so when you have longer passages, oftentimes like just a word is exchanged, and then the whole passages before being completely repeated is just with marked with pe or Pāli, etc. And last but not least, a few words. Ummata, mad, bahuka, much plenty, vechita, deft, vyata, intelligent, sakka, own, sukha, dry, mahant, great, antara, a few indeclinables, antara, within, between, meanwhile, whilst, pe, and so on, etc. Barne, I say, yagke, here, yoniso, methodically, consequently. So for tonight, Purnadasanaya, Tavavavaya, Savam Mangalam.